Hey guys, John Potter, Director of Instruction at Prestwick Golf Club. I'm back with another question from somebody who responded to last week's Tuesday talk, Tuesday tips. This one about contact, poor contact, right? Chunking, thinning, and what causes that, and what should they be working on now? Without seeing a particular case, it's really hard to say. There are a million different things that could be going on. Posture is a leading cause, in and out of posture, up and down. Lengthening, extending, flexing, levers, different things in the arms, the wrists, right? So we can make that distance between your pivot point here in your left shoulder and the golf club. We can change that, the distance, right, of that lever, the length of that lever. We can articulate a lot of different things in our swing and cause contact issues, right? If we shorten the club, if we have too much bend here or here or here, or standing up out of posture, all those things are going to lead to poor ball striking, right, or a lack of consistency in the ball striking. Here's one maybe you're not paying attention to. Check those things if you can. In a mirror, look, make sure your spine angle and posture is relatively, head's pretty still. That'll all help. Here's one that a lot of times people aren't looking at, and that is low point control based on center of gravity. Okay, so imagine your swing, just real quick, as one big circle. I'm going to say, assuming posture is good and levers are working the way they're supposed to, you're still thinning, chunking your shots. What can be happening, look for this, is your center of gravity controls a lot of where low point is in your swing, right? So imagine, again, the big circle of your swing. I'm going to simplify this. If my weight is in the center of my feet, low point, again, all other things being equal, that's posture, that's levers, ignore all that for now. Low point in my swing is going to be right here between my feet, okay? Because I have a right arm attached, left arm attached. Center of gravity is here. If I do nothing to shift weight left and right, stay in posture and keep my levers like they are, and just rotate to the top and rotate back down to the bottom, my low point is always going to be right here, okay? I can manipulate that, or where I hit if I chunk or thin, where I contact the ground. The low point of that swing can be changed by weight shift, right? So if I lean into my right side here, and my center of gravity comes back to my right foot, so does the low point. Again, all other things, I can change levers and I can do different things and change posture at different times to manipulate low point also. We're not talking about that, right? This is just center of gravity for now. If your weight goes back, low point goes back. If your weight gets too far forward, low point goes forward. A lot of times what I see in amateur golfers is a poor weight transfer, both into their trail leg in the backswing and into their lead leg in the downswing, right? So what I'll see a lot of times is what we'll call maybe a little more of a reverse pivot, where weight loads on the front leg, and then as they swing down, I don't know if it's an effort or like a desire to see where that ball's going. Sometimes that's the case, but leaning back, right? So loading up on the front leg, big coil here. Sometimes it's a great turn, sometimes it's not, and then falling back and kind of watching where it goes. Always low point's going to be behind, and that can lead to chunking or thinning, topping, right? So pay attention to where your weight is throughout the swing. First, to work on it, you're going to limit how much shift you have in your right side and how much drive you have into the lead side in the backswing. So we're going to stay best we can, weight right between our feet, 50-50. Okay, so I'm going to stay here and just really simplify again, keep levers long, arms out, and just spin halfway, halfway. Okay, and I'm going to try to make my contact as clean as possible, but really by oversimplifying the swing, right? So it's limiting the length of the swing, the motions in the swing. Posture, very still, head very still. All I'm going to do is feel like I'm twisting my trunk, my center of gravity staying perfectly centered. Okay, I hit a bunch of shots like that until I can't miss, but nobody wants to play golf like that, right? We want to swing bigger. So slowly start to go bigger. Now, as you go bigger and faster and stronger and more coil, you're going to feel pressure shifting. Pay attention to where your weight is. If you think about your most well-struck iron shots, if you think about a good player hitting a good iron shot, the divot happens out in front of the golf ball, right? It's not ground and then ball, it's ball and then ground. So low point's going to be out in front of the ball a couple inches, okay? That is where we want our center of gravity. Think about your chest, your sternum. Let's try to get there, out in front of the golf ball, 2-3 inches by the time we get to the ball. Okay, so feeling that push off the right side. I liken it a lot to throwing pitching a baseball, right? Think about a pitcher pushing off the mound. The golf swing is so similar to throwing a pitch. It's crazy, okay? Think about that. We're kind of loading up the inside of the foot. We start with this, we're rotating away from the catcher, right? Back to the catcher. Loading up this right side, but just kind of using it to push off, right? We're not getting flat-footed. Center of gravity is not coming way over the right side. It's into the right side so we can push off. And that lateral motion leads to a rotational motion, so we start turning. And then everything happens from the ground up. We start this rotation here, this torque in the core. Last thing to go is the arm and the wrist. Same thing here. Okay, in the golf swing, instead of an overhand, it's a little bit more of an underhanded motion, okay? Big turn, we're going to load into that right side just enough so that we can push off. It's not going to be this big hip throw this way where you get your weight flat-footed or the weight on the outside of the foot. We don't want that. Okay, just in the inside of the right side so we can be quick and mobile off of that right side, okay? You guys, good luck on the practice. Let me know if you have any questions with that. And send me questions for next week's Tuesday talk.